There was a lot of new music that dropped this year. Let's talk about it. I literally it just said this battery was fully charged. I turned on the camera and it was halfway and now it's almost dead. What the fuck?
This video was formed from a live ostrich.
Just like in my last video, how I tracked my life in spreadsheets, I also tracked new music, either new music that I saw like on Twitter that people were hyping up about like anticipating a release, or obviously new music on my radar from bands that I am a fan of. I want to talk about it. I want to give my opinions. I want to give my songs of the year. I want to give my least favorite songs of the year. I'm going to be a hater for a second. I do want to preface some things before I start this video. First of all, I'm not necessarily going to touch base on songs by artists that I became a fan of later in the year that they dropped earlier in the year. Like, just a quick example, Younger dropped Keep Watching this year, but it was before they were even in my field of vision. Next year I'm gonna keep track of artists that I've started listening to, and either that will be a separate video or a separate part of this kind of video. Another thing to preface is that I'm gonna be talking about the releases that were on my radar. So if you're here to listen to me talk about Brat or the new Taylor Swift album, you've come to the wrong place. No slander against those albums, it's just that they're not the type of music that I normally gravitate towards. I rated every release on a 0 to 1 scale with the exception of DNF, which stands for Did Not Finish, and DNL, which stands for Do Not Listen, which I will elaborate later on. Also, last thing before the video starts, I'm not gonna talk about every release that I noted down because, like I mentioned in the intro, there were a lot of them. I tracked a total of 86 releases this year. Definitely not going to be talking about all of them. But without further ado, let's get into my top 10 singles of the year. Coming at number 10, we have Gossip by Penny Board. This song dropped August 29th. Penny Board went through like, I would consider like a major vibe genre change this year. Their debut EP, What If As If, was a very pop punk kind of sound, and with their sophomore EP that they dropped this year, I'm Bored, it was a lot more of a poppier sound. I really didn't think the poppier direction would stick with me, but it kind of sort of did. I wouldn't say this new direction of Penny Board is my favorite kind of music, but it definitely didn't turn me away from their music, and I will be continuing to follow their journey as a musician. At number 9, we have Light Blue by State Champs. This song dropped September 19th. I think the verses of this song are so melodically flowy. I could go to the boardwalk without a reminder in the waves, drive up to Woodstock and know that you won't get in my way. Listen to Matchbox and won't let the day waste away while I'm thinking about you again. But now it's 3 a.m. State Champs has always just been like that staple pop punk band in my brain. I'm not saying like they're the staple pop punk band, but if somebody came up to me and said,
"Hey Tiffany, I want to get into pop punk music, where should I start?"
State Champs. Whenever you listen to a State Champs song, regardless if it's from their early work or the album they dropped this year, you just think that's pop punk right there. And also the pre-chorus of this song is so catchy, and the drums are just, the drums are drumming in that pre-chorus. Looks like I'll be sleeping in, deja vu keeps creeping in, but I surrender, nothing I can do. Damn, I get so. At number 8, we have Hollow by A Foreign Affair. This song came out May 3rd. I kind of sort of forgot that it even came out this year. For some reason, I thought it came out late last year. What's funny about this song is that I initially rated it a 0.4, and I will be talking about that when I get to my bottom 10 songs of the year. But since then, it has been upgraded. I don't remember what I rated this. I rated this a 1. This is the first song on my list that I have given a 10 out of 10 rating. The drums, the guitars, Alex screaming. Everything about this song is immaculate, and I need more heavy A Foreign Affair in my life. At number 7, we have One Sided by Not a Toy.
I bet you told all your friends how I'm leaving. Bet you said I only call when I'm wasted. Probably told all your girls that I'm toxic.
This is ironic saying this while this song is in my top 10 list, but I feel like Not a Toy's releases since the release of their album Problems have had to really grow on me. They've kind of gone soft with their music, and I'm not saying that like
they went soft because of woke.
I don't know how to describe it. Like, their instrumentals are kind of giving that lo-fi kind of effect a little bit. Branson's a lot less aggressive with his vocals. They're more like soft. I don't know how else to describe it. And I'm just like more of a fan of the aggressive Not a Toy, but as you can tell, this song has seriously grown on me because it is number, what did I say? I do have one specific comment about this song, and it's about the lyric.
Probably told all your girls that I'm toxic. But did you tell them I need you?
That does sound a little bit toxic. I don't know. That's just me. So then we have number 6, which is Last Night by Not a Toy.
If it's alright, I have to go soon until our time's up. We're just passing through. If it's our last night to make the night last, then save your worries for the daylight, darling.
This song dropped September 6th, September 5th. Another negative comment about a song that is in my top 10. Not a Toy sent their street team a snippet of this song early, and they wanted their fans to react to it on camera. I don't know why, because I thought they said they were going to do something with it, and I don't know if they have, but I wanted to be a part of that. And I always ruin songs for myself when I react to them on camera. It's a big mistake. I should never do it. Blackout premiered a song on the radio not too long ago, and I tried to react to that on camera as well. It's just not a good idea. It always ruins the song for me. Like I mentioned about One Sided, it seems like Not a Toy's releases, I'll listen to them once, I'll be like, oh, okay, and then it like takes me a few months to be like, oh, okay, this is good. I really think the thing that initially ruined it for me, because I originally rated it a 0.45 and now it's a 1, the element of me reacting to it on camera, because I actually rated this lower than One Sided, but now I like it more than One Sided. I guess I shouldn't complain too much about Soft Not a Toy, because the songs that they've dropped this year have been very easy on my voice, which has turned Last Night into one of my favorite covers that I've ever done. Number 5, and this one might be a little unexpected because I wouldn't consider this band one of my favorite bands. They're a band that I really like listening to, but I wouldn't consider them a favorite, is Warzone by Stand Atlantic.
Say it to my face. Say it to my face. Say it to my face. I bet you like a cyclone entering the war zone.
This song dropped February 15th, and a lot of the releases this year, even some of the ones in my top 10, as you've heard previously, have really had to grow on me. This song didn't. It hit me in the gut right from the get-go. I'm like, holy shit. I love this direction of Stand Atlantic so much, and I really hope they keep it up. It's like rock, but with like combination of metal elements and screaming. No complaints, absolutely. I love this song so much. I mean, it's in my top 10 for a reason. It's in my top 5 for a reason. The top 4 are probably going to be very predictable. I will say this right now. Number 4 is Drag Me Down by Jay Willis. This song dropped October 25th. Jay sent me the album shortly before that, and this song has been my favorite on the album ever since. I was so excited to find out that that was the next single. Jay literally did that for me. He didn't do that for me. I'm not trying to spread any rumors or anything. Kind of a coincidence that the next single from the album was my favorite from the album. At number 3, we have Freak, also by Jay Willis.
One narcotic away from living on the edge, but away from my freedom. I'll take what I can, but I won't feel the same. It's only fun living as an F-R-E-A-K.
This song dropped August 23rd, and not only is it a good song, but it also has a little bit of sentimental value to me. Not only is this the song that introduced me to Jay's music, but it also kind of introduced me to Blackout. I've told this story so many times, and I feel like I've told it differently every time, but because I don't remember what happened. I know that I listened to Freak before I checked out Blackout. I don't know that. I'm pretty sure I listened to Freak before I checked out Blackout. Man, if I really like this song, And you know, I'm like a lead singer's girly. I like, most of the time when I like a band, it's because of the lead singer's voice, etc, etc. So I'm like, if I like this guy's singing voice, I should like his band. Freak, I would think, if that's how it went. That's how I discovered Blackout. Long story short, it's got some sentimental value to me, and that's why it's in my top 3. I'm just gonna combine my top 2 because I'm sure at this point you all know them. There Is No Cure by Cemetery Sun and Down and Out by Cemetery Sun.
There is no cure, there is no cure.
Is anyone surprised? It's my favorite band. There's not really much to say about these songs. They're the 2 original drops that Cemetery Sun did this year besides their Unplugged EP. Like, obviously, there was really no competition from the start. I do want to acknowledge some honorable mentions. Blind by Ezra. This song dropped August 16th. I think it's a very similar sound to Warzone by Stand Atlantic. It's got that rock with the metal elements. Also, another thing that I loved about this song is that Ezra was about to go on tour, and they were like, we're gonna play a new song on this tour, and dropped it right before the tour. So their fans on the East Coast didn't miss out. I really like that. I think more bands should do that. House Party by In Her Own Words and Young Culture.
Rather get high, chillin' in these sweatpants. That's when you're the prettiest, you're the fucking best, and I wanna be with you all night.
Young Culture said they didn't drop any songs this year. I just think this song is fun. I think it's fun song. I think it's fun song. It's fun sounding. I would say maybe like the last chorus isn't very fun, but everything else about it is fun. This didn't get in my top 10 because of the 50 Shades of Grey lyrics.
50 Shades on the new TV, yeah, we could be them, fucking BDSM. I'm just playing. Unless?
I don't know why I talk like that. I'm 21 years old. Like, I don't know why I get so weirded out about my favorite singers talking about their sex lives, but I don't like it. Another recent release, Eons by Sharia Moore.
Eons, you make the minutes feel like eons, like eons,
This dropped December 6th. I almost said November 6th. This is what happens when I don't look at my notes while I'm talking. I'm gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what this song is about. And I can't tell if in the chorus when Trey says you make the minutes feel like eons, if that's a good thing or a bad thing. The second verse is a feature and it's in Spanish, so maybe if I knew Spanish I'd be able to understand the song a little bit more. The first verse isn't giving me a lot. I also think that, I'm scared I'm gonna butcher his name, but Rowley V, I think he should have done a chorus in Spanish, like 16 bars of Spanish. Hold on, I don't know if I'm describing this correctly. I don't know shit about music. This in Spanish. Then back to English. You make the minutes feel like eons, like eons. After hearing this, I just know that Sharia Moore is going to come in swinging in 2025, and I cannot wait. Next up, we have Hypocrite by Daisy Grenade. This song dropped June 21st. This song is 1 minute and 48 seconds long. Let that sink in for a second. I love it. It's so good. It probably would have had top 10 potential, but it's 1 minute and 48 seconds long. I don't know. My only problem with this song is I feel like it's too short. And then my last honorable mention was Bad Habits by Jay Willis.
I should try to be mature and be more careful with my words. I might get the chalk outline and probably roll off in a hearse.
This is actually my second favorite song on Exhume Rebirth. Like, it's tied with Drag Me Down, but I realized when I was taking my notes for this video that I completely forgot to log it in my spreadsheet, or else it would have ended up on my top 10. So now we have my bottom 10 songs of the year. I kind of feel bad for being a hater because I don't like talking shit, but if I'm gonna put my top 10, I'm gonna put the bottom 10. At number 10, we have I Don't Wanna Wait by One Republic and David Guetta.
Let's make tonight the weekend. I don't wanna wait. I don't wanna wait. I don't wanna wait.
Unfortunately, One Republic got the David Guetta effect. They fell victim to David Guetta. I mean, I did rate this a 0.7 and it ended up in my bottom 10. But David Guetta has been having this thing lately with his music where it's all just samples or interpolations, I still don't know the difference, of like older songs, and a lot of them tend to be memes, like the I'm Good song.
I'm good, yeah, I'm feeling alright. Baby, I'ma have the best fucking night of my life. I'm blue, I've been deed, I've been died, I've been deed, I've been died, I've been deed, I've been died.
Forever Young wasn't a meme, but it's still a sample of an old, I would say iconic song. And this one.
Got no reason not to celebrate, baby, I just don't wanna wait. 기쁠 때 웃으라고 steady day. 맘인 desk they all keep they.
The song that they sampled is literally as old as me. I don't know how to pronounce it, and I feel kind of bad that I don't know how to pronounce it, but I'll put it somewhere on the screen. You probably know it from the Noma Noma meme. The irony of the pre-chorus saying, baby, let's try something new, and then going into the chorus that's sampled from a 21-year-old song. It doesn't sound bad. It's just that, David Guetta, can you do something different? Something original, maybe? And then number 9 on my bottom 10 is Dancin' Hell by Pennyboard. I pretty much said everything I have to say about this song in my I'm Bored EP review. Kind of ironic that a song on their EP that's more on the poppier side ended up in my top 10, and then a song on their EP that's more on the rock side ended up in my bottom 10. At number 8, we have Slip Reimagined by Bearings.
I've been slipping up around you all this time, been slipping up around you.
This song dropped July 1st. The ironic thing about this track is that it's the only reimagined track from The Best Part About Being Human Deluxe by Bearings that I listened to for the most part, and it's still in my bottom 10. With these reimagined songs, they just took Doug's original vocals from the song and wrote a new instrumental to it.
I'm hearing silence on the other line. I've been looking for the right sign. I'm hearing silence on the other line. I've been looking for the right time.
This song has so much potential if you reimagined it completely with some like airy head voice kind of vocals. Hold on, I'm literally making an instrumental to like test out this theory. I'm currently working on the instrumental for me to sing over it right now, but here's a snippet of the original, or not the original, the reimagined original.
I've been slipping up around you all this time, been slipping up around you, and I don't wanna know the context of this call. I really wanna show you that I see the way, I know how you feel, take you away and show you what's real. I've been slipping up around you all this time, been slipping up around you.
Now imagine this. I've been slipping up around you all this time, been slipping up around you, and I don't want to know the context of this call. I really want to show you that I see the way, I know how you feel, take you away and show you what's real. I've been slipping up around you all this time, slipping up around you. You see how it sounds different when the vocals are softer? Stop, please. Thank you. I think if they reimagined the instrumentals, they should have reimagined the vocals as well, is all I'm saying, and that's why this song is in my bottom 10. Number 8 is Black Box Warning by Leanna Firestone.
Black box warning. I'm the star that never aligned. The thing you know you have, but can't seem to find. And I'm the call you've been dreading all week. The chore you always end up procrastinating.
This song dropped May 7th. It is beautifully written, and I feel like there are definitely a lot of lyrics that when I listen to it, I'm like, yep, that's me. I can resonate with that heavily. But it's in my bottom 10 because it's one of those songs that I can't listen to unless I'm like in that kind of mood, that kind of headspace, because then it's just kind of a killjoy. I'm not saying all music has to cheer you up or anything. That's kind of what I look for when I listen to music, so that's why it's there. Number 6 is Whoa by Sophie Powers.
I like
The song dropped May 10th. Can Sophie Powers drop a single song that doesn't have a feature in it? She's always teasing her songs on TikTok, and I'm like, oh shit, this sounds really good. And then she'll announce it has a feature, and I'm like, oh, okay, well. I personally think that a lot of Sophie Powers songs would be better if they were like shorter and just her compared to being longer and having a feature. Did I do 11? I think I did 11, or I counted wrong. I did do 11. So let's rewind for a second. I Don't Wanna Wait was number 11. Dance in Hell was number 10. Slip Reimagined was number 9. Black Box Warning was number 8. Whoa was number 7. Number 6, we have Kill My Vibe by Between You and Me.
Why you always gotta kill my? Why you always gotta kill my vibe? Why you always trying to steal my? Why you always trying to steal my love?
And you're probably thinking, Tiffany, what happened? When the Shit Yeah EP dropped, you said this was EP of the year. This song dropped April 3rd, which was 2 days before the EP release. 6 days before Jay and JT from Between You and Me blocked me on Instagram. I almost said Twitter. I still listen to Between You and Me on occasion, but I get this like bad taste in my mouth. I feel like I'm doing something wrong. Because when I told like my friends and some of the people around me what happened, they were like, I wouldn't support them anymore. Like, I'm not gonna listen to them anymore. I don't like them anymore. You shouldn't either. But I still just listen to some of their music on occasion because it's catchy, man. Anyway, I originally like rated all of the songs on this EP and the EP itself a 1. So I split it in half, and all of these songs are a 0.5 rating just because of that instance. I feel like we can lightly graze over number, what did I say this was? 5?
Am I caught in the middle? We had it all just to give it up. Feel my heart breaking a little, thinking that I'm not enough.
Everything I just said goes with this song as well. This song dropped February 21st. At number 4, we have SOS by A Foreign Affair.
We're stuck in the deep end. Don't know what comes next. It's a mess for us.
This song dropped recently. It dropped November 29th. I think I get like the opposite of recency bias. I'll listen to a song and just be like, oh, it's meh, and then I don't listen to it a lot again, or I'll, you know, think like, oh, it's okay, and I'll listen to it again, and then like maybe like 5 months later I'm like, oh shit, this slaps, what was I thinking? So I really think that's what's gonna happen with this song. Another thing is A Foreign Affair said they were going in a heavier direction, but I feel like this song sounds more like Still Frame than it does Hollow. If there's a spectrum from their album Still Frame and their single Hollow, SOS would be like right here. So I think part of my negative reaction to this song is just that I wasn't expecting this kind of sound, because I don't necessarily think it's a bad song. Same thing with this song. Number 4, we have Too Late to Say by State Champs.
Is it too late to say that I'm lost on my own? It's like all of it's for not on a sinking stone.
This song grew on me, but it's still in my bottom 3 on their self-titled album. I think if I were to tweak my rankings a little bit more, if I paid a little bit of attention to my updated rankings, or if I did my rankings based on vibes instead of math, that this song wouldn't be, it definitely wouldn't be in my bottom 4. 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, 3. At number 2, we have Nobody by One Republic.
Nobody, nobody, nobody got you the way I do.
This song dropped April 12th. I'm kind of surprised about this one because I do get it stuck in my head every so often, but I don't want to say I don't listen to it because I gave it a rating. I did not rate it DNL, but it's just like a song that I skip a lot. I didn't expect it to be at my bottom 3, but I am the one who rated it a 0.3 out of 1, so I don't know. And at number 1, my least favorite release of the year was Cold by Massey.
You left me cold. I'm choking on the promises you made. You smile with your hands around my throat.
This song also dropped November 29th, so I'm thinking this is a very similar situation to SOS by A Foreign Affair. The opposite of recency bias. Or would it still be recency bias, but it'd be like a negative bias? Don't be surprised if like January 2025 I'm covering this song. I actually do really like the chorus, and there's like a very specific line that's like, you felt like a hit and run.
You felt like a hit and run.
Or something like that. I don't know how it goes because I don't listen to it a lot, but I don't think it's a bad song, so I really think this is just like anti-recency bias or whatever. Moving on to my DNF songs. It's one thing for DNF to be a rating on an album or an EP because those are multiple songs that I have to listen through. But if you can't keep my attention for a whole song, that's kind of a yikes moment. Teacher Has a Gun by Bad Flower.
My teacher has a gun. I guess someone. My teacher has a gun. She wants to hurt someone.
This song dropped June 28th. I'm not a huge fan of Bad Flower. I know my friend Ken's is a huge fan of Bad Flower, and that's why I listen. I don't know if June 28th was a big day for music. I've got a terrible memory.
One of the songs that I just mentioned in this video could have dropped June 28th, and I don't remember.
I didn't finish it. Recipe for Disaster by Honey Revenge.
Don't know why, I don't know why, I don't know why I'm like this. Recipe for disaster, wondering what's gonna come after.
This song dropped May 24th, and I don't know if I even really dug the snippets for this song. I actually really like Honey Revenge and their song Medicine, which they dropped this year, and I forgot to take note of the song and their deluxe version of Retrovision. Completely forgot to write those down, and I'm just realizing that now. But I really like those songs, so this song is just kind of off for me, and that's, I guess, all I can say about it. And the last did not finish song is Bones by Unroyal. Dropped June 28th. And when it comes to my DNL songs, I'm just gonna rattle them off, so I need to go on a quick little side rant. This year, Eddie from The Score changed his Instagram. He didn't have a main Instagram account anymore. Instead, his account turned into We Are Unroyal. Unroyal has turned into a side project of his, and I never really liked it. They dropped their first single, 10 Feet Tall, and I'm just like, this is like a diet version of The Score. On a scale of like pop to heavy, The Score is kind of here and Unroyal is kind of here. I don't think they're different enough to be considered two different projects. It's Eddie and two other people. Personally, I think what they should have done is Eddie and Eden should have made a collaborative album or a collaborative EP with the two other people whose names that I don't know, and I'm sorry, and released it under The Score. But that's just my opinion, and the music that The Score released this year is a whole other thing.
Why don't you stream on TikTok anymore? Oh, buddy, don't get me started.
Now we're on to my do not listen songs, which these are songs that I've listened to a couple times and I just decided to either not add them to my library or I really just don't listen to them. I've got a long list, so I'm just gonna rattle them off, but you're free to ask me in the comments, and if I have any sort of elaboration on the songs, I will give you the answer. I already discussed Unroyal, all of their singles. Also, all of The Score's new singles, Survivor, Down with the Wolves, Power. Like I mentioned before, I still listen to Between You and Me on occasion, but I never really fucked with their cover of All Star. Why did they have to play that live? Stupid in Love by Max. Liquor and Kerosene by Daisy Grenade featuring The Main. Scenery Reimagined by Bearings. Back to Hell by Glimmers. Addiction Prescription by Pop Tropica Sluts. Karma Hyperpop version by Pennyboard. What If You Changed by The Wildlife. Soul Sucker and Fuck About It Too by Waterparks. Make Your Way Back to Me by Bearings. Traditions by Solely Vale. Gone So Gone Reimagined by Bearings. And Hurt by One Republic featuring Jelly Roll. Before I move on to EPs, I want to give a quick shout out to songs that my friends released this year. I would have felt bad for like giving them a rating or something, so I wanted to have an explicit spot in this video for songs by my friends. Miss Me by Away From Home, that's my friend Harry's band, that dropped March 8th.
Would you even miss me if I ran away? Tell me what I said, like you cut it on an egg. Tell me would you care if I said it couldn't stay? Or would you even know if you never saw me again?
Paper Mask by Tina Crosby, that dropped March 15th, and I made the cover art for it. It Isn't What It Used to Be by Briar. She also dropped an EP called The Sleuth. I wouldn't consider us friends, but we went to high school together, so I wanted to shout her out.
I heard you're in New York right now, and you know what that does to me. But I wouldn't fix this if I knew how, 'cause it isn't what it used to be.
Moving on to EPs. I didn't listen to a lot of EPs this year. I think I only listened to 6. I'm not looking at my notes, so that could be wrong. One of these you may or may not consider an EP, but in my opinion, more than one song is an EP. Unplugged by Cemetery Sun dropped January 5th. This is my EP of the year. Is anyone surprised? I designed the cover art for it. It's my favorite band. Anything else I have to say about this EP, I've already said in my review of it. What Did You Find Out by Home Safe? This EP dropped March 1st. I only listened to it because I was seeing Home Safe in 20 Days with Between You and Me, Young Culture, and Sharia Moore, and I don't think I've listened to it again. Shit Yeah by Between You and Me dropped April 5th. Uno skip card. No, but seriously, this EP, the songs on this EP are so catchy and I still listen to them, but I feel a little bit of guilt. Glitch Level 1 by Sophie Powers. This EP dropped July 12th and it just wasn't very memorable to me. I'm pretty sure there was only one song on this EP that wasn't a single, so kind of disappointing. I will say though, I'll give her props for this. There are more songs on the EP without features than there are songs with features. I didn't realize that. I'm Bored by Penny Board. This EP dropped September 13th. Like I said before, anything I have to say about this EP, I've already said in my review. The last EP I have listed is Keep Watching Remix / Acapella by Younger. This is basically a single, but I feel like with more than one song, it's not a single, it's not an EP, it's a secret third thing. I need Younger to drop acapella versions of every song they do, please and thank you. Jay Malkiewicz has one of those voices that I'm just like, dude could sing anything. I would stream Simlish Younger. I'll admit the remix had to grow on me a little bit, but I still listen to it on occasion. And now, moving on to albums. We all know my album of the year at this point. If you don't, it may or may not be out by the time I post this video, but it's Exhume Rebirth by Jay Willis. That being said, I feel like a lot of the other albums that came out this year, even albums by some bands that I consider up there, like, not my favorites, but almost my favorites, fell flat for me, and it was disappointing. Speaking of falling flat, Artificial Paradise by One Republic. This album dropped July 12th. Part of me's thinking maybe it fell flat for me because I came home from California like July 9th, I think? Maybe I had that post-California sadness and I just couldn't listen to the album and it didn't hit for me. But it just, I haven't listened to it since. Maybe I need to go back and give it another listen. I love One Republic. I have a tattoo in Ryan Tedder's handwriting that he wrote out for me. And I wouldn't say this album changes that. It doesn't make me regret this tattoo or anything, just a little upsetting. And I actually do like a lot of the singles. I guess I'll have to give this album another listen, because right now it was just one of the many albums I've heard. Next up, we've got The Crucible of Life by The Home Team. This album also dropped July 12th. I have 8 out of 12 of the songs saved in my Apple Music library, so I'm not going to say that this album fell flat, but I do feel like I need to give it another listen. I listened to it because my friend Tina is The Home Team's biggest fan. We all know this. I think a conclusion I'm coming to when it comes to this video is that I really need to listen to some of these albums again. Next up, we have Was Here by Stan Atlantic. This album had potential for my album of the year, even though there are some songs on it that I don't listen to. The songs that I do listen to on this album, so fucking good. I love them so much. I do think one day, eventually, I'm gonna listen through this album again and find a hidden gem. That's normally what happens. There'll be a few songs that kind of fall flat for me, and then I listen back and I'm like, oh shit, this is underrated. Survival in Motion by Taylor Acorn. This dropped September 13th. I will be honest, I think I was too focused on the new Penny Board for this album to really sink in. I do really like the singles, so like I said, gonna need to give this one another listen too. The Best Part About Being Human Deluxe by Bearings. This dropped September 20th. There was no point in this. Like I mentioned before, the reimagined songs are just the original vocals with different instrumentals. I think they should have just dropped an EP with the new songs. That being said, Stormy Weather and If I'm Being Honest are fucking bops. State Champs by State Champs.
Cher Lloyd by Cher Lloyd.
This dropped November 8th. State Champs and Exhume Rebirth were fighting back and forth for the title of my album of the year. State Champs is a very close number 2. Even though one of the songs on this album is in my bottom 10 singles, it's immaculate. I really love this album so much. And then we've got Exhume Rebirth, obviously. I think I know when this album is dropping. Jay told me a release date, but he hasn't announced it yet. If this album drops next year, I'm gonna be really fucking embarrassed that this is in the video. I'm not even able to talk about it yet. But anyway, anything I have to say about this album either has been said or will be said when I posted my Exhume Rebirth album review, depending on when this video comes out. And to end off this video, we have my did not finish albums. Neck Deep by Neck Deep. It dropped January 19th. I forgot about this album completely. I really like Dumbstruck Dumbfuck. And I think that's it. If I had a nickel for every time a pop punk band dropped a self-titled album in 2024,
I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice, right?
Posthuman Next Gen by Bring Me the Horizon dropped May 24th. I really liked Posthuman Survival Horror. I really didn't like this one. I think there was one song that I liked, but then I went to listen back to it and I'm like, nope, I don't even know what song it was that I thought I liked. Clancy by 21 Pilots also dropped May 24th. I listened to this album and Posthuman Next Gen because these are both big bands with big followings. There was lots of hype going on about these albums. I couldn't finish either of them. There is a line in Lavish: I see your problem is your proctologist got both hands on your shoulder while you're bottomless. And my family has an inside joke about proctologists. I don't know how it happened, but I think one of us, my brother or I, asked what a proctologist is, or maybe my dad. And my mom goes, oh, it's somebody who makes your mom popcorn. And since then, for years, it's been an ongoing joke in our household, to the point where I forgot that a proctologist is a real thing. Hot Singles in Your Area by Scene Queen. This dropped June 28th. I don't really have much to say about this one. It kind of went in one ear and out the other. And I'm going to finish this video off by being a hater. We have Last Legends by The Score.
Oh, buddy, don't get me started.
This album dropped November 8th and I didn't even give it a chance. What do you mean there are 9 songs on this album and 5 of them are singles? I think that's a little ridiculous. Especially with the amount of singles that Eddie was releasing with Unroyal, I think it was completely unnecessary. I don't know if I'd even consider myself a fan of The Score anymore. I listen to some of their older music, but I'm not gonna be that person that's like, I'm a huge fan of The Score, but I miss the old Score. An enjoyer of some of The Score's music, but I'm not a fan. No matter how much my friend Alex tries to push it on me, I am not a fan of The Score. That being said, that was my opinions on some of the new music that came out this year. I am so excited for new music in 2025. Some of my favorite artists have been working on some stuff that has got me really excited. So let me know if you'd want to see another video like this time next year. If you liked this video, like it, comment down below. Maybe some songs that came out this year that I didn't mention that you thought would make your top 10. Hit subscribe, hit the bell icon, all that crazy, wacky, weird, amazing, fun stuff. Thank you so much for watching, and I never know how to end these things.